Might as well tell Twitch that, because their face fun market. I'll tell you now. It's not quite live, but it's playing enough, so I'm assuming it's going to be live.
Yeah, I literally hit the button, so we're good to go. Alright, now to type up not to post a thing in the Facebook and on the other Discords. Um, come on. God damn it. Okay, well, I can't post on my personal Gloomwave page, my business page, because it's not letting me. Facebook is broken. So that's awesome. Well, yeah, I tried to hit create post, it just breaks. It just, like, nothing happens. Something's wrong with Facebook, and so, whatever. I should probably kill that page anyway. Nobody looks at it. I'm not gonna. I basically. Yeah, so. Let me, do the post things. It picks. It would pick now. Isn't it great how websites work until you want to use them? It's always whack. Alright, okay, almost done here. Isn't this song that won made for me just the cat's ass? Oh, that's fair. Yeah, that's real. One more place to post it. Oh my god, really? You're really gonna hit me with that? You know what's really sad is I always envision, Jim Sterling when you do that. Yes.
Well, I mean, it was kind of like inspired by something that Alan said, I know about he does it, they don't. And he said, no, he's specific about his voice.
Okay, all set. Let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and kill the music. And we are going to hop over here.
Murdered the shit out of that music.
Alright. We've got a big show today. Real big show. Oh my god. Kitty, I just saw your other comment. You're gonna make a Gloomwave voice chat in yours and sit in it. Because we all have boosted Discord servers, so.
I mean, I had made the thing for you and the role and everything, so I think that's what we're using.
Yeah, but then I finally got a booster for my own server, which has been helpful because that's what I've been using. That's why we've been doing movies and stuff.
Well, also, more importantly, they skipped a month So sad trains and snow, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... Oh my god, what a month has it been, though?
I mean, if you went back in time, let's say about maybe 6 or 7 years, right, and said to yourself that you would be hosting a leftist podcast with two people talking about how the CEO of a pillow company got kicked off of Twitter for trying to incite uh, overthrowing the government at the behest of Donald Trump, you would have been like,
Excuse me.
stop eating packets of gravy that you find on the ground. I don't care if they have chives in it. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
That's pretty much the world we're living in now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's truth really is stranger than fiction. You can't make this shit up.
No, you will can't.
I saw a great take this morning that said, because President Joe Biden here has been honestly kind of killing it. I'm actually shocked at all the shit he's been doing. Somebody said if he keeps unfucking Trump's mistakes at this rate, pretty soon Trump won't have children anymore.
I think the exact quote was, Eric, Donald Jr., and Ivanka will all disappear.
I guess Tiffany gets a pass, right?
Yeah, and so does Byrne.
Oh, that's right, because he's like a little one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still a kid.
How many kids does he have?
5.
Yeah. You don't hear much about Tiffany because she's not political.
No, and also Trump basically ignores her.
Yeah, and Barron is in like high school, so.
Yeah, he's a kid. Yeah, there's been a long running joke about, radicalizing Barron and making him into one of the good ones.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing if like in a few years, like the rise of like the new leftist movement is led by Barron Trump?
That would be amazing. That would be hilarious.
Oh my God. You join up with Cindy McCain, right?
You can't tell history after that.
Oh,
because
and
everyone will believe you.
it'll be Barron Trump, Cindy McCain, and Kellyanne Conway's daughter.
Oh my god. What's going on with Kellyanne Conway's daughter is the.
What is fucking wrong with Kellyanne Conway? Like, why? Okay, so she shared a nude picture of her 16-year-old daughter, which is all kinds of horrible and illegal, and it was either viewed as being some sort of mistake, or maybe trying to punish her, or revenge porn, or something. But why do you have a nude picture of your teenage daughter?
On your phone. Well, no, really.
Have that. Why would yeah? Why would you have that?
Yeah, I mean,
I know that the daughter said something like her mother takes her phone from her all the time, and maybe she like copied it off of there. But like, why would you do that? Like, if you're looking through your 16-year-old daughter's phone, which by the way, don't do that, because you are going to find things like that. You probably don't want to.
Because,
And
because, you, because you want to blackmail your 16-year-old daughter.
Yeah,
Is that the correct answer?
I mean, yeah, but like, imagine finding that and then being like, "Oh, I'm going to save this for further use." No, go directly to jail.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, Kellyanne Conway belongs in jail anyway, so. This is just the disgusting cherry on top of the shit Sunday.
Might actually happen now because it's hard to be the party of we think there's pedophiles everywhere and we want to fight them and do shit like that and let them get away with, like, if they let Kellyanne Conway get away with that while claiming that, like, like Obama and Bidens and Clintons are running a sex trafficking ring out of a pizza shop, it I mean, at that point, you're fucking stupid.
Can I just say, has you noticed how as soon as as soon as Trump left Washington D.C., it's only been about a week, but we haven't heard a thing from him.
Well, I mean, how would you? He's not the president anymore, so it's not like he can just call a press conference whenever he wants. He's banned from every form of social media that you can think of, and the ones that wouldn't ban him are getting shut down.
Yeah, so he slunk off, and I don't know, he's probably moping and licking his wound somewhere in Florida at his stupid resort.
Do you really think that's what he's doing? Do you really think he's moping, or is he plotting?
He's moping. I see, the thing about guys like Trump.
About this impeachment trial, because I'm going to tell
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Rand Paul introduced a motion to dismiss based on that it's unconstitutional to
That actually
impeach
got
a
dismissed.
president.
So
Yes, I'm trying to get to that. That it's unconstitutional to impeach a president who's no longer in office. It gets dismissed, right? Only 5 Republicans voted for dismissal. It was like Susan Collins and Mitt Romney and 3 other people who I don't really know. And you had all like I mean, basically they don't have the votes to convict if only 5 of them are saying no, we need to have this trial. Because it has to be a super majority. It has to be 67 votes to convict.
yeah. Did you hear about Senator Patrick Leahy?
No, I did not.
He's the senator who set to preside over the impeachment trial, and he was rushed to the hospital yesterday. And I'm just thinking maybe we should stop electing old people to Congress because if all it takes is for one of these dinosaurs to die out, and all of a sudden the Dems don't have a majority no more.
Well, we never elect old people. We elect young to middle-aged people and then keep them in there forever. There needs to be term limits.
I actually agree. But I also feel like, you probably shouldn't be in office after, say, 65.
Well,
Like you should have to.
so I mean, then we would have President Mayo Pete then. That's the real. Not all the young ones are. Not all the kids are all right.
Fair, but maybe under those circumstances, President AOC would have already looked like more of an option.
Yeah.
Not even old enough.
Well, the thing about
Thing, which I,
Mayo P is the kind of.
a law that says you have to be.
No, I know, and I don't think there should be that either.
It's interesting that when they came up with that, like people like didn't live a long time, so they were literally saying yes, only olds. It's like they wanted it to be a bunch of old white landowners. Gee, I wonder why.
Did they do that?
God, no, of course not. Not our founding fathers who are all perfect.
Mayo P, I swear to God, he's like the kind of Greenwich Village gay who looked out his window at the Stonewall riots and said, "Thank God the police are here. It's loud."
He is the Democrat equivalent of Rudy Giuliani.
Ooh. Well, I don't like how true that is.
Ow.
And neither do I, and I said it.
Ow. Damn. So I feel like we probably should talk about the big fat elephant in the room, the January 6th riots.
I mean,
I mean, at the end of the month, and there's not much we could.
riot to describe this. It's like that. That wasn't a riot. That was an uprising.
It was an uprising. Yeah. I mean, it was an insurrection, but
Failed insurrection.
Failed one at that. Like a sad failed insurrection.
yeah. Well,
Very limp insurrection.
So 4 people died.
actually,
That were. I know that's 5, but hold on. Let me say what I'm saying. 4 people died, all of like bad health, and then one was shot. 3 people died of bad health. 1 person was shot, and then we had 1 police officer who was killed by the insurrectionists. And then it comes out that this guy was a Trump supporter. So he was trying to and that's just kind of showing you that there are people who voted for Trump, and then there are maniacs, and most of them are maniacs. This guy was the minority. He was a Trump supporter that wasn't trying to take over the Capitol.
yeah. I mean, sometimes I think about like my uncle. He was a Trump supporter back in 2016, but now I'm wondering, did he vote again in 2020? Because I don't think I'm willing to bet he didn't. I'd have to ask him. I'm kind of afraid to, but I don't think he
It
did.
might be easy to find out. I mean, does he have like Facebook or anything? I mean, usually.
No. I'd have to ask. I'd have to ask my aunt.
That's
Yeah,
less scary, right?
yeah. And not my aunt. She's good to me. She's basically mom number 2. So, she's been helping me a lot.
Oh yeah, you always speak very highly of your aunt.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, like sort of like I wouldn't even say Trump supporters. I definitely have relatives that are Trump supporters, and I really don't have time for them. And I know it's like they say, "Oh, but you're supposed to be tolerant and everything," and it's like that episode of South Park where they showed that, like, yeah, to foster tolerance, you have to be intolerant of intolerant people. It sounds like a paradox, but it is literally the only way anything happens.
That's literally what Karl Popper was talking about all those years ago. And it's like people are like so much for the tolerant left. I'm like, fuck your tolerance.
The left never called itself tolerant. The other side called the left tolerant only when they were making fun of.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
if you look at the word tolerant, it just means you put up with something. It doesn't mean support.
Yeah, exactly. Tolerance was never an option.
I mean, like, dude, that's like saying, do you tolerate gay people? Like, does that sound right?
No.
It's really shitty, doesn't it?
Yeah, it still sounds like even if you say yes, it sounds bad.
It sounds like, yeah, I don't really like what they do, but I guess as long as they're not doing it on my lawn, I'm a man.
That just sounds like the average libertarian to me.
I was doing I literally heard somebody say that. So
Yeah, what I'm saying is this whole thing about tolerance and stuff is like, no, we don't tolerate queer people.
that's the contract they want to have with each other.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my god, fuck.
You know what? Okay, so
I wasn't ready for that one.
that goes back to Metropolis, but I actually want to bring something up about Bioshock real briefly.
Yeah.
Because I read the Bioshock novel like quite a while ago. I remember thinking, "Oh, this is about right." And there was a part where, Andrew Ryan, who cannot really comprehend any kind of charity or anything like that,
No.
was having a heated conversation, more like a confrontation, with Frank Fontaine. And for anybody who doesn't know, the novel's before the game, um, so anyway, it was because Fontaine opened an orphanage in Rapture. And the funny thing about it is that he's like, why would he open an orphanage? What is he up to, right? And the thing is, of course Fontaine was up to something, because he's Frank Fontaine. He's a grifter. But he's always up to something. But it was also the immediate assumption that no one would ever open an orphanage without some sort of nefarious scheme. Like, why would you help children? Ew. And he accused Fontaine, he was basically of being a pedophile. And he's like, if you're using this as your personal pleasure den. And Fontaine's like, relax, I'm a regular guy. I like grown-up women. I'm just being charitable is all. And I was just thinking, like, is that even illegal in Rapture? And the fact that I had to ask myself that question really says a lot about libertarianism right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I really had to wonder, like, is that sort of thing really even... I mean, it might be frowned upon, but is it actually illegal in Rapture? And that's, like, a question that maybe we don't even want to know the answer to.
That really makes you think. I mean, you were a libertarian back then, weren't you?
I mean, socially, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you saw the 8 values thing. It says I'm a socialist libertarian now.
Well, yeah, but that's different.
I think most people we know have moved leftward over the years.
Oh yeah, and if you haven't, you're not paying attention.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Someone pointed out, I think it was on Twitter, someone pointed out that if Trump hadn't been elected, if Clinton had won back in 2016, where would we all be now? Will we still be just, milquetoast liberals? That's the real question.
How many people did Trump radicalize?
Exactly.
Do you ever? And this is a question that, like, you don't have to answer right away, because it's something that you got to think on. Do you ever just wonder if, like, maybe you're just a contrarian?
Oh no, I know I'm a contrarian, but no, that doesn't mean I'm not also a leftist.
Do you ever wonder? It's like, okay, because I felt like I was like kind of liberal when Bush was in office, and then I like swing the other way when Obama's in office, and then swing hard to the left when Trump's in office.
No, and I'll tell you why.
And I'm just wondering, is that a natural evolution, or am I being influenced in some way? Sometimes I wonder that.
Okay, I'll tell you this. I was a centrist for most of the Bush years. When I back in 2008, I'm ashamed to admit this, but back in 2008, I voted for McCain, and I couldn't even tell you
I don't think
why.
there's anything wrong with voting for John McCain because he was as left as a Republican gets.
I couldn't even tell you why. I had an issue with Obama that I couldn't really articulate. No,
It was your no. You can articulate it was your mom's influence.
yeah, that's part of it. But see, no, see, my issues with Obama were different. See, Mom didn't like Obama because he was the Antichrist. I didn't like Obama because I don't even know. It wasn't some Antichrist shit, though.
I never disliked him. I just felt like he needed more experience.
That wasn't my issue with him. My issue with
That
him
was
was,
my issue with him, at least in 2008. In 2012, I didn't really have an issue with him. Or 2000,
yeah.
yeah,
No,
2012.
I did vote for Obama. I did vote for Obama in 2012. That because by 2012, I was looking at the Republican Party and I was thinking to myself, I am never voting for these fools again.
Okay, so like I know it's like we don't like really hate Mitt Romney because he's sort of like not even that evil, but it is you do gotta wonder like why the candidate was the elusive man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, but the folks at BioWare, I wish they'd come out and just say that they were thinking of Mitt Romney when they designed that character because he looks exactly like him. By the way, lurkers, I mean, we have like people lurking in the chat. Feel free to interact with us.
yeah, we got quite a few people here.
When you bring up the, like, doesn't he look exactly like Mitt Romney around that era?
He really, really does.
You can't tell me there's no influence there.
A little bit more like
Who all is in here?
video gamey, nicer looking, but
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, this was from
yeah.
a while ago.
Oh, that's true.
It was probably because he was probably still governor when they made that game.
Oh, fair, fair. Yeah. This conversation is extremely interesting for me to listen to because
You're Canadian living in the UK.
Yeah.
well also because I was a hard like commie back in high school. I I actually drifted sort of a little more liberal when I lived in California, but as soon as I stopped working retail and and shed the apathy that that gave me, I went straight back to the left. And I mean, you saw the eight values.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all had very similar.
I've also seen your liberal friends. The ones I.
You know what's interesting is, and I don't want to name names because I'm not trying to put anybody on blast, but if you look at my community, right, sort of like there's one person, I'm not going to say the name, but there's one person who just kind of talks about politics almost too much. And that person, when we all took that test, was the closest to the center. Isn't it funny how that works out?
Yeah, it is.
Definitely not, I'm not saying they're right wing, but I'm saying they're closer to the Obama Biden sphere.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
Of course, you know what I'm talking about,
But,
but I don't think we have anybody that's like that would fall on the right side.
no, we had that one guy who was there for like 5 minutes and then we banned him.
oh, that taco dude.
No, that other dude, that weird alt-right guy.
Wall of Fitness.
Oh, wow, yeah, that was a weird one because the first day that he was there, like he was engaging with us in a political discussion and didn't seem all that bothered by what we were saying or talking about, and even posted a meme that I agree with, which was like it showed Trump on the right side of the political spectrum and then moving ever so slightly left to Biden, still on a globally scale on the right side, and one side going, "Oh no, we lost," and the other side going, "We defeated fascism." And that's true because it's a very tiny move to the left. I mean, it's good that it's a move to the left.
Yeah, and it's still up in the upper right corner.
I didn't really think that this guy was going to be a problem because he posted that, and then the next day he's like, "Oh God, all you guys ever talk about is politics," and I had to look back. The last thing that was vaguely political was 4 hours prior, and I'm like, dude, I wanted to say, dude, you're replying to something from 4 hours ago. Get with it.
And like there was other stuff too, and also like
Oh yeah.
as you saw my responses. I'm like, also it's kind of up to the people here what they want to talk about. That ain't up to you.
I mean that got weird fast because like you and EB both basically told him, "Yo, calm down." take several seats, and you both are moderators on my Discord, and you figure that he would calm his tits,
And he
but
did
apparently,
the exact opposite
no,
of calm
his
his tits.
titties got all twisted. Thanks, Gibbs.
I was
His titties
actually,
got all and
I was
didn't
actually,
even see the wall of slurs that happened.
I was there. I was like not. I was in a Skype call with my girlfriend at the time, but I had the window open and was kind of idly watching it,
Yeah.
and my eyes bulged. I'm like, wait, what? And then he said like 4 lines in a row that were just that one word. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that's very
piece of shit.
ironic, very silly, and I didn't see it. You know what I mean? So I just went by what EB told me and what you just told me, which confirms it. Not that I didn't believe EB. Hey, Star.
Are you kidding me?
This whole time, me and really?
Are you serious? I've been nobody had.
Second testing.
Oh my
said
god.
Many funny things.
Okay.
I've said so many funny things that were missed. This is gonna be the worst VOD ever.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Star.
I actually could hear you.
Now you can.
No, before that.
Maybe we were just very low.
Yeah, it might have been.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah.
think it
So
was- I
I
think it was
didn't
just
see
low,
it.
not
I didn't
very
see it because I was scrolled up. Because I
Oh,
was trying
Because you
to
were trying to
find.
figure it out.
I was trying to find out what the hell he was talking about because nobody had talked about
Oh my god.
politics for a while.
Okay, so Discord decided to fucking. So Streamlabs has been on some bullshit lately.
Oh yeah, because you reinstalled it, so that yeah.
Yeah, and so Discord, my thing for Discord has been muted all this time, even though I know for a fact that I didn't mute it. So we just lost like a good 25 minutes of this whole thing
We talked about
because
some really. We talked about some really good shit too. Wait a minute, are you also Nah, never mind. So I was wondering if you were also recording on your end, but
Yeah, but if it's the same program.
I'm not
it's probably
recording.
doing different
no,
stuff.
yeah. Oh well. I mean, we got another. We got all the rest of this time to talk about stuff, but yeah, I just
yeah, and
you know,
I'm a little annoyed because I was hoping people would actually come to this. No,
Well, now
there was a
they're
problem. I
coming.
wish someone had told me 25 minutes ago, and not now.
Well, now they're here. You got Star, you got EB, who's just washing dishes, but we'll be back in a bit.
Well, I guess
I
we're
think
starting
you
the
know
show
what?
for real now.
I'm gonna tell you what your error was here, June. Is that after taking a month off, you didn't sufficiently hype this up. See, there's Riddle.
Oh, hi, Riddle. So I guess the show's officially starting. So all that we just did
That was the
just
pre-show.
practice.
We were just warming up. That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were warming up, doing our pre-show, where nobody could hear any. Basically, the first 20 minutes of your VOD is just gonna be June laughing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You won't be able to hear what me and Kitty said that made that happen, but trust us, it was funny.
Okay, I gotta be honest with you though. Stream has been on some serious bullshit. Like,
You're having an issue. I've never had these issues, but like you're having some sort of really severe issue over there.
all of a sudden, I'm having all kinds of problems. Like, okay,
Yeah.
last week, I started having this issue where the Streamlabs would crash every time I tried to add a folder to a scene, so I could group stuff up. And I finally got that fixed today because I submitted the ticket to Streamlabs, and the first thing they do is they reply with a list of things that not only have I already done before I even submitted the ticket, but it was on their website saying, please do all these things before you submit the ticket. I'm like, why am I even talking to you then, assholes?
Okay. Be real. Be real. How many people do you think they deal with that
didn't
submit
do
the
any of
ticket
that, yeah.
before doing any of that?
Yeah,
Okay, fair.
Kitty's,
So I told
Kitty's
them I already did all
110%
that.
correct.
I told them I already did that, so they sent
So
me a
you should- you
reply
should have put that
saying,
in the
okay,
ticket.
we'll try this and this, and I did, and that didn't fix anything. So today I finally get an email, and they say, okay, well, it turns out you're not the only one having this problem, so we put out a new package, please reinstall Streamlabs and try it, and that finally fixed it. Because the weird thing is that I had just closed Streamlabs 15 minutes before, and then I reopened it, and at that point, it was broken.
Yeah.
What I was trying to do wasn't working. And I'm guessing they had pushed out an update that had broken the particular bit of the UI. The other problem I've been having, although it's not happening now, is I was dropping like 10% of my frames
Yeah, that.
all throughout the
But
stream
but you
yesterday.
said it was very yeah, but I don't think that I think that was it. Sometimes like when I see the frame counter going up, it's really scary. Obviously, you just got to ask people, hey, how does it look? Are you getting buffering? Because sometimes it'll tell you that you're dropping a shitload of frames. I was watching your stream; it was very smooth. There were no stutters. There was no buffering.
It buffered
So
exactly once the entire time I watched, and I was there
for
for that whole
for like a
stream.
half a second, right?
Yeah, yeah, not
Yeah,
even for very long.
not even worth talking about that half. I mean, somebody who's been dropping 10% of their frames consistently, it would be like a slideshow or it would be constant buffering.
And it wasn't a slideshow either.
No, it was smooth. It was like it was at
Yeah.
least, I don't know if you were streaming in 60 frames per second because Mega Man doesn't run like that, but it looked like it was at least 30 frames per second.
I'm running in 60 frames per second. I can actually go look.
Yeah, but you can't tell when looking at Mega Man.
No, well, it depends, because you can tell, like, okay, remember when I was playing Castlevania back on Halloween?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was broadcasting on 30 frames per second, no, every time Simon got hit, he basically
Oh, yeah. He would
disappeared.
either be solid or invisible, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like I'm streaming in 60 frames per
Okay.
second. Yeah,
Well, right
so,
now you absolutely are.
yeah, so,
Yeah, you're good.
in any case,
No phasing out of existence for me.
Okay, so
so,
like we did talk about this earlier, even though that was apparently only one third of that got through. But so there likely isn't going to be real consequences for Trump,
no.
because of just the way that Congress is and the way that they're all weenies, especially somebody like our former turtle in chief there, who said that Trump getting impeached is a good thing and he can't wait to convict him, and then voted to dismiss the case today. So okay, let's say that's fine, whatever. What about people like Josh Hawley and Ted Cruz? Are we going to have some actual consequences there?
Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
not. My guess
let's
is
be
no.
real here. Ted Cruz belongs in fucking jail. I mean, we already know he's the Zodiac killer.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, I think the Republican Party have to take a deep look at themselves and say, okay, wow, if we ever want to win an election ever again, we really need to fucking do something about these maniacs that infiltrated us.
They're not going
And
to. Because,
yeah,
see,
of course they're not going to.
Here's
Of
the
course they're
thing.
not going to.
Not only are they not going to, but they're going to win the elections anyway.
Well, it depends because I mean Trump didn't just lose this election by a little bit. Now, yes, it's scary to think that 75 million people voted for him, but this is the largest voter turnout we've ever had. 81 million people voted for Joe Biden, and then whatever amount of assholes that voted third party. And it's like at this point, I don't think we're going to go back that easily to really low voter turnouts.
I maybe, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of people who see what's happening now and they think, "Oh, thank God Trump is gone. We can finally go back to normal," and then they just stop voting. 'Cause
I don't think I
The
think
only
I don't think
reason they
that's
came
gonna.
out to vote is because of Trump. Trump was the one who was scaring people into voting,
Yeah,
I
but
but
don't think. I don't think.
Trump didn't happen in a vacuum, and Trump didn't act alone.
I don't think they'll stop voting. I think people generally understand from this event how important voting is more than ever. So I think
That's
more
yeah.
people, even if it goes down from this last election, voter turnout I think will trend upward from elections before that.
Oh yeah, like
I don't think
on
so.
a yeah. No, I agree with Kitty, and especially with COVID having happened, we've proven that mail-in voting not only works but is really easy to do,
Oh God,
and
yeah,
and
that
actually
alone.
is trustworthy. And I think that's going to become more and more common. And
Possibly.
especially when you have Republican talking heads out there literally saying we don't like mail-in voting because that means we won't win.
I see. I hope you're right, but I also have zero faith in the electorate because this country is full of the stupidest goddamn people who. The whole thing has been about going quote unquote back to normal. And it never occurred to any of these dictators that normal has been killing us.
Well, no, it's not just that normal has been killing us, but normal put us on a road for crazy. We didn't, like I said, Trump didn't happen in a vacuum. He didn't descend from a different planet and suddenly take over. He was elected naturally because of what we just perceived as being normal, was just a gradual slope towards crazy. And then there was a sharp drop off in 2016. But it doesn't mean we weren't trending in that direction.
See, what I'm saying, is that most people see Trump as having descended from another planet. I mean,
Well,
people
I don't
like
know,
people
'cause
like
he's been
you and
around
me,
for a
we
long
know that.
time.
Yeah, people like you and me, we know better, but nothing. Nobody's gonna listen to us because nobody has been listening to us. Let's be real here. Most people are centrist liberals,
Oh, yeah.
at best.
I
Oh my
think
God,
enough of them.
Wayne.
I get
know,
I get where June's coming from, and I do think a lot of them. I see it. I still have a lot of liberals on my Facebook, and I know they are saying, "Whew, thank God, back to normal." But some of them aren't. Some
Yeah.
of them aren't, and that's the important thing. We're never going to convince everybody.
And Kitty's absolutely right. If you think of the sheer amount of left center people out there, or just center people out there, if even 10% of them, you're talking about 10% of most people, that's a lot of people suddenly that have woken up.
Again, how many people did Trump radical? I guess no. I guess the stream didn't hear that when I said it before. How many people did Trump radicalize?
In both directions.
Yeah, fair,
yeah.
but
I don't know. I'm just more inherently more pessimistic than either of you. I don't really
true.
think.
Well, you
See,
know what, though?
See,
If you-
you see, the way I look at it is, I'm hoping you're right, but experience tells us that things are going to get worse.
Experience tells us things are going to get worse because that's been the trend. But and that's why both you and me last year, like literally a year ago, were like, yeah, Trump's going to win the election.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that didn't happen, and it didn't happen by 9 million votes. So,
I mean, know why it didn't happen.
well, COVID.
Exactly. Excuse me. Anyway,
There's always a silver lining, right?
I guess. Yeah,
No, I'm serious. So you can
You're
come up
right,
with like
right.
the worst things that happen in history. We don't always necessarily learn from them and all become better and sing "Kumbaya" by the campfire while shoving pine cones up our ass, but something good comes out of it.
and it's usually because of people. It's usually that people respond to situations the right way, at least some of the time.
I mean, let's take World War II as an example, right?
Oh my
One of the
God,
worst
that-
wars in history. We had the Holocaust, one of the worst things to ever happen in human history, right? But if you look at okay, so as important as that event was, it was everything that led up to it that was really fucking shitty. The Germans didn't come up with the idea for the Holocaust in a vacuum. They got the idea from, guess what, us, the United States, and all our eugenics bullshit. People like Henry Ford, and they were like, yeah, let's take this to its logical extreme. And then people recoiled in horror, and we got away from that for maybe 60 years before it started creeping back in.
Evie brings up Nazis invented sulfa drugs, which they need to take because they're allergic to penicillin, but they wish people didn't have to suffer and die for that. Though that's fair, but we can still take the good that came out of it. We can't undo what happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose when you go right down to it, though, I mean, I do think that we are living in a world that is getting progressively worse, and even though Trump is gone and we put in Biden, Biden is just a shorter step in the wrong direction.
I would have said that before the inauguration, but he's been doing things though. He's actually been.
I saw his inauguration. I seen what he's been doing, and I'm still not convinced. I'm not impressed.
Well, it's only been like a week, so
That's a lot for a week.
a lot of things have happened in that time. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, and
I'll tell you
we
why
all
I'm
know-
not
We
impressed.
all know that the energy's going to drop eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But-
they're holding out so they don't have to give us $3,000.
That
Well,
NP,
Where's
that
my
new
money,
president of
Joe?
energy.
Where's my
yeah.
fucking money, Joe? I want my
I
fucking
know,
money,
no,
Joe.
no,
You
well,
promised,
that,
you promised
you
that
know,
$2,000, Joe. Where's my fucking money, Joe?
maybe you should be saying that to the turtle.
I mean,
That's fair.
no, dude.
He's the one that keeps fucking it up, right?
I mean, no, the Democrats are letting him do it. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, I know.
Hey, I will be right back real quick. Sorry, this
Yeah.
is acting up on the back of my neck.
All right, so I guess it's just you and me for the next minute or so. You and me and Mike Duff box on
Yeah.
in
Oh,
motor.
and by the way, because I just looked into it, EB, the guy who invented the sulfa drugs wasn't actually a Nazi. He was a German scientist, but he was not a Nazi.
Yeah, that reminds me. I know a couple of people who still insist on using the term Asperger's, and I'm just like, you realize the guy who invented the term, who the term is named after, was a Nazi, and he came up with the concept to describe
Mm.
people who he thought were, useful compared to other neurodivergent people who inevitably wound up being victims of the Holocaust. Stop using Asperger's.
I
You could,
mean, the problem with it is that nobody's come up with like I just looked up Asperger's syndrome on Wikipedia, and apparently they used to call it autistic psychopathy.
nah.
So I mean, somebody's got to come up with something better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's weird when you think about how many things we have that are just legacies of the Nazi regime that we don't even think about anymore.
It's true. I mean, I think about it a lot, but that's me. I'm weird.
Yeah, but EB points out that it's usually just in the umbrella of autism spectrum disorder
Mm.
now.
Yeah, that's true. They have tried to stop. They usually just say spectrum. They don't try to specify too much.
Yeah, so no, I think at this point you really don't have to use the name of a literal Nazi.
So you're talking about Hans Asperger?
Yeah,
I'm looking into him here.
yeah, because there's no way to tell, because he came up with
Oh
Asperger's
wow.
syndrome as a means of identifying
So
neurodivergent people who
yeah,
he thought could be useful to the
yeah.
regime, as
So
opposed to
he.
everybody else who were quote non-functional,
So
who
I just
wound
looked
up
into
in.
him. He yeah,
I'm
he
back.
he he was in the they call it the Austro-Fascist Fatherland Front. He wasn't a Nazi in the sense he wasn't a German Nazi. He was a Viennese Nazi.
Yeah,
So yeah, this guy was a
yeah. So,
he definitely collaborated with the Nazis too. I just
hmm
looked into it even more. What a cock.
so,
I mean, I don't know. What did you say? It's like I said. There's always a silver lining. COVID is absolutely awful, but it's making a lot of people realize that hey, all the things that we said we couldn't do, we turns out we can do them. Like working from home and mailing votes and whatnot. And it's like it used to be like the working from home is a huge thing because the disabled people have been trying to say, hey, how come I can do this from home? How come I can't? And then they're like, well, how do we know you're really working and all this bullshit? We don't want that. And then all of a sudden, everybody's doing it. Do you really think that all the disabled people in the world are just going to go back to the way it was before? Or they're going to say, fuck you.
yeah, that's real. And what really blows my mind now though is there is the dark side to that though, because now
It's a dark
companies
side to
have
everything.
been trying to exert ever more control over their employees to the point of spying on them in their own home.
I like how we just went
No.
from Necro. There's a light side to everything. There's an
Yeah.
upshot to everything. To there's a dark side to everything.
Yeah, well, you can't have one without the other, right?
Perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
As all things should be.
No, but yeah, of course there's a dark side to it. But here's the thing, though. How long do you think people will put up with that in our current climate? Yeah, people spying on you at home. Fuck all the way off with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'd be helicoptering in front of the webcam, and if they'd be like, hey, we can see your taint, I'd be like, why are you looking? Like what you see. Let me give you my Cash App.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I don't want to think about that anymore. Anyway,
Whoop, 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 whoop.
it'll be like the helicopter scene, the helicopter sound from the beginning of Apocalypse Now. And then the door is playing. The man sings.
Through early morning fog I see visions of what came to be.
Da 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 da.
'Cause suicide is painless. It brings on many changes. And I could go on living if I try.
Okay, this tune got amazing.
As Aaron says,
It only took
this
25
is
minutes.
quality. Aaron says this is quality, and I agree.
Yeah, it is quality. This is one of our best tunes. It took us a while to get going, but
You know what I would just do? I would just take a picture of my balls and my taint and just put it in front of the webcam when I'm not using it. That way, if anybody turns it on and starts looking at it, that's all they'd see. And then they'd be like, and turn it off, right? And then they'd come back a little later, and then it would still be there, and they'd be like, why is he always there?
Always ready.
Maybe one day just draw a smiley face on it, or the word hi with an exclamation point.
and you could also alter it for holidays. So like on Christmas, you just draw a Christmas tree on it.
Or have a little bow wrapped around it.
Yes, or on Halloween, just paint the ball orange and give them a jack-o'-lantern face.
There you go. Just draw little scary faces on each one, right?
Yes.
On Christmas, one could be green, the other's red. Put a star on your taint.
I'd put the star on the tip personally, but
Yeah. Oh my God, that reminds me.
Star atop the highest bough.
I have a webcam now. I bought one last week, 2 weeks ago, and honestly, I'm really happy to have it. I just have one problem with it. My monitor has a very thin bezel, so my webcam, because it hooks over the top of my monitor, it slightly covers up a very tiny bit of my screen, which isn't typically a problem, but it's enough to cover up half the name of a tab on my Firefox window.
I have the same issue, but it hasn't really been a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big an issue,
So
but
I generally, this may seem weird to you, but I generally don't keep my browsers maximized.
that is weird. Why would you not keep your browser maximized?
Because I usually have like a lot of things I'm looking at, and I, like to be able to click on a window quickly to get to it.
that's fair.
See, I'm an alt-tab ninja, so
Because
I'm alt-tabbing all
because
over the place.
I have 3 different browsers up. I have Discord. I have Steam. I have probably 4 or 5 folders in the computer open. I always have a lot of things open, and it's a big monitor, and I don't need one browser taking up the whole thing.
Well, let me see what I got open. I got 4 Explorer windows open. Not the browser, my file
I know,
Explorer.
yeah.
I got Discord. I have Steam open because I was updating some stuff. I got Firefox open and the Firefox download window open, and that's it. That's pretty much it. Oh, and Streamlab.
Well, I have 3 Firefoxes and a Chrome, so.
Yeah. I don't use Chrome except to download on Mega, and a large part of that is because of the way Mega works on Firefox is just garbage.
It's actually the way that Firefox treats downloads. It tries to load them all into local memory.
Yes. So sometimes I forget, and then I'm wondering, why the hell is my computer freezing? Why are they making that horrible grinding noise? And no, it's Firefox. Yeah, so
It's like
prefer
Wayne
to
says:
use
if
Chrome
your
for that.
employer spies on you, go ahead. You're gonna see some fucked up shit.
Yeah, so I just use Chrome for Mega download.
Deck the halls with ass and balls.
Internet Explorer. No, no,
Have
no,
you
no, no,
ever
no, no,
seen
no.
the
Internet
Internet
Explorer
Explorer
thinks that
Twitter?
Bush is president.
Have you ever seen that Internet Explorer Twitter where it's like reporting news from like years ago?
Yes.
That
Yes.
shit. It'd be like, wow, Trump was just elected president.
I saw a recent one with anime girl versions of the browsers, and the Internet Explorer one was like looking forward to how great 2020 is going to be, and the other two were just like tugging at their collars, like, "Oh no, should we tell her?"
Ugh.
That's hilarious. So,
I would definitely show my taint to most people in the government, but it would be in a threatening manner, like it would be flaring at them.
honestly, Twitch is my employer, I guess. I mean, I'm an
Amazon.
quote unquote independent contractor,
Yeah,
so I guess
for Amazon.
So, honestly, Twitch. Twitch is horrible, but not so horrible that I would show them my balls. They just get my taint.
Wow, you flare your taint at them angrily.
Yeah, yeah. hmm
I mean,
But
and shout out
yeah,
to
I
all my
mean,
peeps out there who know how to flare their taints.
I would say the ball for the government.
Yeah, have some bull sweat.
Oh my god. So
Buttons.
this has been quite a wild month, huh?
It
It's
really
been a
has
month.
been, yeah. This month has been a long year.
It really has. And 2020 was bad. But
2020 was the longest decade ever.
oh my god, 20. Okay, I have to be real with you. 2019 and 2020 have been the single worst 2 years of my life.
I think they've been the single worst 7 years of my life.
I mean, okay, yeah, but I'm talking in calendar terms here, not relative terms.
Look at you with your calendar terms.
Anyway, so I mean, 2019 was just fucking bad. 2019 was just, I don't know. I mean, for those of you who don't know, my mom died December 2018. I spent the next year, packing up because I was losing my house and I had to move across the country and everything
Yeah.
was a fucking disaster. And then in 2020, I had a whole bunch of health scares and I had debt problems and then COVID hit and everything is just bullshit on top of bullshit. And nothing. So
Everything's
last
stupid.
2 years,
Everything sucks.
yeah, yeah, everything sucked forever and I hate it. So I'm hoping 2021 is going to be slightly better, but I'm not counting on it. But no, I will say this though, it sort of started out weird. I mean, last year started out weird, but then we got this. And have you been following what's going on with GameStop?
I was just about to bring that up, and
Oh.
honestly, I there is a large part of me that really doesn't give a fucking shit. I think that this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. It's like funny for about a minute, and then I'm over it.
See, I'm just here to revel in the suffering of hedge fund managers. I
Oh, yeah,
wish every
absolutely.
hedge fund manager a very wonderful lose all your money.
Okay, so you might have to actually talk about what happened. I'll give you the Reader's Digest version, Aaron. Basically, GameStop was a trash stock. It was selling for $4 a share, and a whole bunch of people on Reddit were like, "Wouldn't it be hilarious if we all bought GameStop stocks?" And then they all started buying GameStop stocks literally because they thought it was amusing to do so. And then that, of course, the way that the market works is that they're like, hey, they're all buying that. They must know something we don't. And then everybody starts buying GameStop stocks. And if you don't know what GameStop is, basically teetering on the brink of actually catching on fire as a concept.
Good, by the way.
So yeah, of course. I mean, they're basically been the dripping garbage juice of the industry for like 25 years or so. And this is just like it's pushing them towards the edge in a flaming wheelchair right now, like that scene in Red Dragon.
They went up. Their stock price went from like $4 not that long ago to like $300.
That was
something.
today.
It
That was today. That
It
happened.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, it opened at $4. It ended at $303, and this is so basically, it caused all these asshole hedge fund people to suddenly lose their goddamn minds and spend a whole bunch of money buying into a company that is basically held together by spit, gum, hopes, and prayers.
Yeah, they better sell like right now.
So yeah,
They
I
can't
don't
even
really
care, right?
understand it myself. I'm not really sure with things like shorts and stuff like that. Well, because I wear pants, but I don't. So I don't really
Well, you
understand the
are the
concept of
you are
shorts.
the sovereign of pants.
Yeah, yeah. I am the
Sovereign of pants.
yeah. Anyway, no, know what I am? I am the princess of pants.
Or the Pantalord.
Yes. Anyway, so I don't really understand what is going on with I don't really understand what is going on with GameStop. All I know is that dumbass hedge fund managers are losing all their money, and I'm okay with that.
Money is made up, but this money is extra made up.
Yeah, that I sort of get what's going on. It's like, okay, I looked up a thread about it on Reddit, and someone said it works like this. A bunch of people said, I don't have GameStop stock, but if you give me $20 right now, I'll sell you 2 shares next Monday morning, no matter what the price is. So if you think that price is going to be higher than $10 a share by Monday, giving someone $20 to do that is a good deal. But if you think it's going to be lower than $10 a share on Monday, taking $20 from someone to do that is a good deal. So these people thought that they could take the money now and then next Monday buy the stock for cheap and give it to the people who wanted it, and everybody wins. But
Oh, these
instead, the
people are
price.
fucked.
And then
Those
Reddit
people are
got
fucked
involved.
now.
Yeah, the price went way up, and now they have to give the people the stock who gave them the money a week ago, even though it is now really, really expensive. And since both sides basically pinky swore no backsies, they have to do it. So if some other guy who isn't in on a deal knows that you made the deal, he can buy up a bunch of GameStop stock, not that you can't get it anywhere else, and then say, hey, I heard you pinky swore that you give these guys some stock, and you don't actually have any. I'll sell you the stock for $1 million. And so if no one else wants to sell him the stock so he can give it to the person he pinky swore he'd give it to, he's got to pay the $1 million. Or even if there are other people who he can buy the stock from, they all notice that someone is desperate to buy the stock to fulfill a pinky swear, that they all also decide to demand $1 million. So even though he can buy the stock from anyone, the price is still absurdly high. This means that anyone who wasn't in on the promise makes a whole bunch of money, which the person who made the promise loses. At the end, the guy who received the stock can try to sell it at the new price, but it's likely that the bubble will burst and the price will go back to normal after everyone's done screwing the guy who made the stupid promise.
Okay, two things. One, I think everybody now understands why I don't give a fuck. And two, the price isn't going to go down to normal. It's going to plummet into ash.
Yeah, it's gonna go to four pesos.
It's going to be pennies.
Yeah, what happened to ThinkGeek is just, it's a crime.
You know, it's funny because like 15 years ago, GameStop is like, you brought in this game that came out 3 months ago. Pff, I'll give you $7 for it. And now they're like, please sell us your old phones.
Yeah, GameStop is like, not the stocks, it's like you get $100 worth of stock and you can sell it back to GameStop for $4.
If you want to know what it's like to be worshipped as a physical god, walk into a GameStop and browse for a little while.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, a customer.
Also be a girl.
No, I mean that, you know.
I assume
don't do that.
I have seen some
don't be a
really
girl in
creepy
GameStop.
behavior from in GameStops.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. The creepy behavior that I've seen in GameStop is not so much the employees harassing female customers. It's more the male customers harassing the female employees.
That too. I've seen that.
I've seen both. I've seen not harassing, but female customers getting sort of mansplained or talked down to.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't see that a lot because the GameStops that I go to is all women that work there mostly.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
But-
you know what I realize? GameStops are basically, the McDonald's of comic book shops. What do you think about it?
What? Can you say that again? Because like that literally, my brain rejected that. Like I know
Okay,
I've
let
heard
me put it
but-
this way. Most comic book shops are locally owned, right?
Yeah, almost all of them are.
Okay. GameStop's, okay, I guess I sort of make a connection that isn't quite there. What I'm saying is that,
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Is that I literally like the sound that you made went into my ears, but it didn't make it to my brain. I don't know what you said.
okay, what I'm saying is that GameStop's are the McDonald's of comic book shops.
Okay, now I know what you said, and I wish I didn't.
Okay, what I'm saying is that all of the problems that you have at a comic book shop, well, really any hobby shop, that's probably the term I should have used. All of the problems you can find there are actually made worse at a GameStop because of the corporate environment that encourages it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I buy that.
I mean, yeah, that's probably what you should have led with.
Yeah. So,
I was like, wait a minute, did they just say that it's a comic book store? Like, what?
yeah, I
Like-
just, no, I'll tell you what, at this point, I'm not even going to bother going to a GameStop no more.
Well, why would you? You'll catch COVID.
I haven't been
Exactly.
for several years, and I have no intention to.
The only reason that I went to GameStop for a while was like, oh, that's where they have the 3DS games. It's not really a thing anymore.
Okay. I've been listening to Castle Super Beast, but I fell really behind because I don't have put a lot of time for listening to podcasts. So I'm so behind that I'm only just recently getting to the episodes where COVID is starting to be a thing. And I have
Wow.
to tell you, that is a fucking trip listening to people talking about it just starting up. Oh, there's a
Oh
few
my
cases in
God.
Montreal.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I
heard there was cases in New York City.
But what I wanted to add was that one of the episodes around that time is GameStop. It is titled "GameStop is a Sovereign Citizen."
Okay, not only no, but hell no.
Because of all that shit about them not having to. They're an essential business.
Yeah, they
Sure.
tried to claim that they were essential because they sell things like mice and keyboards.
And, oh my god, you
That's-
can get a
that's literally
fucking
what
mouse
they
and a
said.
keyboard from Newegg.
I mean, yeah, do you know that you can get those things at Walmart?
Or like Amazon or like a lot of places.
Oh, that reminds me.
I got the one I have right now from a supermarket.
Okay, let me just refute. Yeah, let me refute the common chud talking point of how come the big box stores get to stay open when the small businesses get fucked, right? And first of all, like, stop pretending you care about small businesses, you fucking ingenuous piece of shit. But secondly, it's because they're big and there's enough room for people to spread out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You can shop in a Walmart with 100 other people and never run into any of those people.
Exactly.
If you try to smush more than 5 people in a GameStop, you are literally sniffing their crack.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But also, when you get right down to it, though, let's be real here. Fuck small businesses. And I'll tell you why.
Not my kink.
You always keep making that
Depends
joke.
on what they're selling.
Get a new joke. Anyway, I'll tell you why.
Why should I get a new
small
joke when that one's been
small
working out so
businesses.
well?
Okay, I'm not saying that every small business is like this, but a lot of small businesses are run by petty tyrants who are basically just as bad as the assholes who run Walmart or Chick-fil-A or any of these other companies, except because they're a small business, they can mistreat their employees and get away with it because the regulations don't cover them.
I have a comparison to make. This is exactly why Canada thinks it's better than the U.S. because it's not actually better. It just when it's bad, it does less damage.
No, there's
Yeah.
less people, you know?
Yeah, Canada is basically, the polite liberal version of the United States.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that reminds me though, I saw something yesterday about the difference between the East Coast and the West Coast. And let's say you blow a tire on the highway, and you're trying to fix a tire. Someone goes by you, in California, someone goes by you and says, "Oh, gee, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Have a good one." But on the East Coast, someone will say, "I cannot fucking believe you're doing it that way. You're gonna do it all wrong. Here, get out of the way so I can do it for you." And see, what it is
That's exactly right.
the East Coast is kind but not nice. the West Coast is nice but not kind.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you poor thing. Meanwhile, it's like, oh, you fucking idiot. You don't know how to change a tire here. Watch me do it, you fucking asshole.
Exactly. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I kinda prefer the East Coast mentality on that because that's exactly how I
Because
am.
that's you. That's
I
you
am
to a
not a
T.
nice person. I want
It's
to
like,
help people,
you're
but
like,
they need
you're
to get
like,
the fuck out of my way so I can show them how to
just,
do it right.
just think of every time you've helped Barrel. That's you to a T, right? All right, you little shit. Come here. Let me help you.
I love Bill. I'm
Sit down,
trying to
don't
be nice to
sit down,
them.
don't fuss too much.
Yeah, right.
Of course, I'm nice to Aaron. And I'm trying to be nicer to Bill. I mean, I have to be honest with you. Watching Bill grow up over the last couple of years has been really rewarding.
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine how it is for me. I've known him for way longer.
Yeah. But, so I'm trying to be nicer to Bill because I realize, we sometimes get a little harsh with him. So I'm trying to pull back on that. So, but still at the same time, I still have to be me and I still have to say, no, you're doing it wrong. I'll show you. But no, I'm trying to be nicer about that. I mean,
See,
I'm still.
my favorite thing of that situation is going, why did you think that was okay? And then watching him flail. To me, it's hilarious. Like, why did you think you could open Doom inside of a zip file?
Yeah, see,
And he's just like, I've always done it that way. Yeah, sounds about right.
okay, do you remember Titus, the TV show?
Of course, I remember that.
Okay, remember that bit where there was a flashback to when Titus was little and his stepmom, he was about to stick a fork into a electric socket, and his stepmom was like, "No, Titus, don't do that." And his dad is like, "No, no, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's see what he does." And then
See where he's going with this, yeah.
what did we learn from this, boy? I am Titus's dad.
Now, see, I think if Barrel was going to do something that was literally going to harm him, he would stop him.
Oh yeah, but
And
no,
then he would berate him for 6 hours afterwards, but you wouldn't let him hurt himself.
okay, like I said, I'm trying to be nicer, so I don't berate him for 3.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean that's literally half.
50% reduction. That's big.
That's huge. That's a huge step.
Yeah,
Big leap.
but anyway, no, it's like we've been talking, Kitty and I in April. We've all been talking about moving on together, and so Kitty, we don't really have a place where you have plans yet.
No, April's still working on her CV and job applications. So
Yeah, so we're still in the planning phase. We're still in the pre-planning phase, basically. We need to find a place
We're
to
planning on
land.
planning.
Yeah, so we need to find a place to land before we can even figure out
Oh
how we're
my
gonna stick
god,
to
I'm so
landing.
glad. Yeah, AB, like I was like when he said he didn't wear a bike helmet, I was like, I'm going to give you a brain injury if you don't wear a bike helmet.
Yeah, well, no, a motorcycle helmet, that's better than nothing. I mean,
That's fine.
shit, at this
Probably
point,
better.
I'd ask him
That's
to wear a
probably
hard
better.
hat. At this point, I'd ask him to wear a hard hat.
I mean,
just always just wear a helmet constantly.
like one of those Mega Man guys, the little Meteor dudes.
Oh, yeah, the metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the little green cross on the front.
I always thought that was Me Tool, and then I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, I know in Japanese they're called Meteor.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing, Wayne. If I were going to move to Yellowknife, I would only go there to buy property. Because I know where global warming is going. And, no, if I buy property now,
In
in
50
about
years,
20
this
years,
will be
Yellowknife will be
oceanfront.
Yellowknife, in about 20 years, Yellowknife is going to be the hot place to be. If I buy property now and I get rich, it's some Lex Luthor shit. It's genius. And see, so I told Therese that plan, and Therese was like, "Well, where are you gonna get the money?" And I'm like, "It's fucking Yellowknife. I could buy property for a can of beans."
It's like, I mean, you could buy a house in Cleveland for about $300, so I believe it.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing: who the hell wants to live in Cleveland?
Assholes.
Exactly. And I have family in Cleveland.
I do too. I have a lot of family in Cleveland.
Really, I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I mean, not all of them still live in Cleveland, but the vast majority of my father's side of the family at one point or another lived in Cleveland.
One branch of my family lived in Cleveland. I think my mom's sister and her
Yeah.
kids and their families and her ex. I don't know where her ex-husband is. I haven't heard from
Yeah.
him in like 20 years. Ever
I
since he
see,
divorced him.
EB, you're slightly off. You don't just pick a house and move in Detroit. You have to throw a rock at it to claim it.
What if it's a brick? Does that count?
Anything hard, you just have to write your name on it, throw it through a window, and then it's yours.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just watch the squatters run away.
Well, all you have to do is, hey, I saw some crack on the sidewalk, and they all just go rushing out, you know. And then you gotta say, say it again, but you say meth. That gets rid of the white people.
In Hamilton, you have to be from Toronto to buy any property.
Dang.
In Cincinnati, all you have to do is, as you want to buy property in Cincinnati, all you have to do is talk shit about the previous mayor.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of anything funnier. on short
Yeah,
notice.
that's a very local reference that only you are gonna get.
I mean,
Yeah.
so is mine, to be fair. Hamilton has a real problem with, like, the people from Toronto, like, being priced out of Toronto.
Oh,
so
no, I got
Hamilton
it.
is becoming the, like...
If you want to buy property in
nearby suburb
Cincinnati, you
move
have to be
into,
from the east side.
but
Because that's where
it's-
all the rich people are.
It's getting priced out of the range of anyone who actually lives in Hamilton, so...
Yeah, because the east side of Cincinnati is like super duper hoity toity rich. I remember when the Berlin Wall fell, I remember seeing this whole. Do you remember Jim Borgman?
No.
No.
Okay, do you know the newspaper comic strip Zits?
Yes.
Okay, Jim Borgman is the artist on that, but before he did that, he was a political cartoonist for the Cincinnati Enquirer. And I want to point out that so was Bill Watterson. Bill Watterson actually did a couple political cartoons for the Enquirer, which is kind of wild. But anyway, so Borgman did this whole poetry thing with he basically did this thing where he painted the east side and west side of Cincinnati and how they talked about he basically had this whole joke about how there was like a border wall between the two, like sort of like
That's
the
always a
Berlin
good
Wall.
joke to make.
So finally, the east side and the west side, they finally tear down that wall and they look at each other and then together, hand in hand, they start putting the wall back up.
That sounds about right. Hey, so remember the other day when I said that, like, you're basically the grown-up version of Gene Belcher, like he's going to become you, June?
Yeah.
So I wanted to share this with you because I just brought up the transcript for an episode. I didn't want to say it and fuck it up. You know what I mean? There was a Christmas episode, and Linda comes in and announces that she wants to take the kids to go caroling, right? You know, where you stand by somebody's door and sing at them, which seems vaguely threatening to me, but, you do you. So she says she wants to go caroling, and Louise says, we're not, Mom, we've had this talk. We're just not those kind of people. I mean, those people, they get their clothes dry-cleaned, they floss, and then Gene just goes, honkies.
Nothing amazing.
And I'm just like, yep, that's June.
That's amazing. I love that.
That's June.
That's what that reminds me of. That reminds me of that scene from Blazing Saddles.
Oh, the salt of the earth. Idiots. And I think that might have been ad-libbed because of the way that Clavon Little started cracking up there. Like, that
Oh, he knew
that
something was
real.
coming, and then
Yeah, but he didn't know what it was. Like, he's waiting for Gene Wilder to drop the bomb, and then it happens, and he just lost his shit.
If I remember the line correctly, it was like, you have to remember that these are just simple farmers, the people of the land, the common clay of the new frontier. Morons.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And Clavon Little just loses his shit. Which is amazing. That was basically, I love when people say to me, oh, they could never make that movie now, and I'm like, why not?
I
Why
kind
not?
of agree. I mean,
No.
a lot of what that movie was talking about, the conversation on that topic has kind of moved on. But that doesn't mean that.
Has it though? Has it though? Really? You really think so? Because I don't think so. I think that like I mean people say like oh well when people say that and these are usually the left center weenies that you guys were talking about earlier and they say they could never get away with making Blazing Saddles today is they're basically low key saying that it's racist when like the whole joke of Blazing Saddles is they're making fun of racists.
I think the point I'm trying to make is that I don't think the movie itself is racist. I'm saying it's God, what the right way to say this? And the product of its time. Like, I don't think.
I
Okay,
don't
no, I
know.
don't want to
I
talk about
really
this no more.
I don't really know. I mean, because I mean, at the time, you have to consider how crazy it was to make a movie like that.
Yeah,
Nobody else was doing that in the '70s. It wasn't really a product of its time. It was ahead of its time, if anything.
I don't know.
Also, what I feel like Principal Chalmers walking in. What the hell is going on in the chat?
I Wayne is on some bullshit.
Are
We're
you
probably
okay,
not
man?
getting
You
our
need a
salad.
blanket or something?
I don't know what's going. Wayne, are you okay? Do you need a blanket?
I feel like you know what, June. You need a blanket emoji for your channel.
I
I mean,
mean,
yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
only
have a
have
blanket. It's called an
you only
inflatable
have
coffin.
you only have two emojis. You know you can make more, right?
Yes, I do. I just been trying to find the right one for the third, and I think it's gonna be that chocobo
You should
emoji I
make a.
used on the
Oh,
Discord.
well, yes, yes to that.
Why, father? Why?
Why?
Quiet, father. But you should have like a blanket and just like put the letters "Are you okay?" on it.
Yeah, I mean, I can only make one more emoji, right?
You can no, actually, what you could do is, and you have to look into your settings, but you can make a tier one, a tier two, and a tier three, and then as you get sub points, it unlocks more tier one emojis. That's why I have like six tier one emojis. But you could also make bit emojis that people can unlock by donating bits. And the cool thing about the bit emojis, like I'm gonna put one in there, like that Gibbs right there is a bit emoji. And if you click on it, it says unlocked with 5,000 bits. Once you unlock that, you have it forever.
Nice.
So it's not key to a subscription. It's key to you gave this amount of bits. Here's your emoji. You have it from now on.
I
Which
should
is
probably
unfortunately why I have one emote from somebody who ain't shit.
I should probably look into that because as you might know, I actually got a little bit of money from Twitch this month because last month was apparently very successful enough that I actually got a good $100 in change, and I
Well,
think that was
it
because
was
of my
probably it because they hold on to it until you reach that. So it was probably everything up until that point.
huh. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it's like
they cash
if you
out
don't.
at. They
But
don't cash
I
out
also
at
want to point out
$100.
that my Snatcher streams were actually very successful.
Yeah,
Nice.
well,
I
yeah.
had a lot of
But
people
I'm just
show
saying
up.
that like if you don't make $100 in a month, they just hang on to it until you reach that. Like if you made $80 and then the next month you made $80, you'll get a $160 payout.
That's fair. Okay, I think I understand how the system works now.
Yeah. So you might have had little dribs and drabs for like a while now, and you hit that $100. You know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna guess that probably my Snatcher stream was pretty successful, and that's what pushed me over the threshold.
Well, I mean, that was a really fun. You know what's funny is I almost made a joke at mom this morning that I would have had to spend about 10 minutes explaining, and it's completely your fault. And by your fault, I mean both of you.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Because my mom has this whole ritual about calling over to my grandma's house and talking to my sister or my grandmother or whatever in the morning, and she goes, "Let's call the House of Chaos," and I went, "Chaos sofa," and And thankfully she didn't hear me, because if she hadn't heard me, she would have asked me what the hell I was on about, and then I would have had to be like, well, June was streaming Snatcher, see, you know.
And then you have to explain what
Chaos
Snatcher is,
sofa,
who
chaos
Hideo
sofa,
Kojima is.
chaos sofa, chaos sofa,
You know what
chaos
you can do?
sofa, chaos sofa.
You know what you can do for an emote is just throw an anarchy symbol on a sofa and call it a day.
We had so much fun with that
Oh
joke.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's
it was
the
just
other
one of
thing. Tomorrow night, I'm starting a game on the Super Nintendo called Chaos Seed. I fully expect you guys to shit up the chat.
Okay,
Oh, I have to.
I'm
I
there.
have to now.
I'm there for that. Because tomorrow night I'm going to be streaming Sigil, so I will probably wind up reading you after.
Yeah, you can, and I fully expect you guys to shit up the chat with Chaos Sofa.
Oh,
call it
absolutely.
Chaos
You will get a lot of Chaos Sofa.
So yeah, so just throw an anarchy symbol on a couch and call it a day. There's your next emote. I mean, that's a good emote.
Yeah, I'm really happy
That's
with...
what you gotta do. You gotta create emotes
God,
that
Aaron.
relate to your channel memes, and you have a channel meme. You have the Chaos Sofa.
Aaron. Look at it, Aaron just posted. That's great.
That's not even an emote. That's like actually text. What is that?
That's a sofa.
Yeah, but it's like yeah, but I'm saying it's not an emote. Like it's
It's an
you can
emoji.
copy-
Yeah, it's a text emoji. I think Aaron
Yeah.
might be on a phone. Anyway, oh my god. So, I gotta tell you though. I mean, I'm really happy with this month. I mean, I have to be honest with you. November and December were both really bad months for me, and this month has been actually pretty nice. In spite of my tinnitus issues, which seem to have died back a little bit, and in spite of the disaster that's going on in Washington and all that, I just feel like maybe things might be going a little bit better for me. I mean, I fully expect things to go to shit next month like they did last year, but I'm actually doing okay for the most part. I mean, I got Mega Man, I got
You're
I got
making
Kitty.
me want to do Mega Man.
I got Kitty,
Yeah, same.
I got
And I wouldn't be doing
I
it
got
at
April.
the rate that you're doing it, but I was thinking like after I'm done on Fridays, after I'm done with Final Doom, I might like do a few of the Mega Man games, not like run through them like you've been, but maybe just do 1, 2, and 3, and then come back later.
Well, also
for
they
the
might
rest.
go slower if you're not using save states.
Well, I don't play the same way June plays. Let's
Yeah,
put it to you that
that's
way.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I abuse save states, and I will never not abuse save
There's
states.
nothing
It's just
wrong
how I
with
roll.
that. There's nothing wrong with. I mean, that's why I said angry Mike Matei noises, because you were constantly reloading a save state to get a drop or something, and you took it the wrong way. You thought I meant something else, but I was like, no. If he was here, he'd be like, yeah, you're not really playing the game.
I will
Destroy
say
his
this.
soul.
I might not use save states for most of Mega Man 4 because
Mega Man 4 is really easy.
Mega Man 4, Mega Man 4 and 5 are really easy, but also more importantly, you can go back into the level to get more equipment. So I think for the second 3 NES games, I will probably not use save states too much. But Mega Man 7,
really
you can
interesting to
expect
watch
me-
you play Mega Man, because a lot of times I'm like, why are they doing that? And I'm like, what are you doing? Like there was this part where you were trying to like you were trying to reach something that was way up high, and you were way up high, but you couldn't jump across. So you would go down and use the rush jet to try and get up there, but then it would disappear, and you'd go cock and reload the save. And I'm like, why don't you? Because every time you put the rush jet, it goes in front of you, but it was going down below. And I was like, why don't you just take a step back? And then you were like, oh, and you did that, and then you were able to get it. And I'm like, what is going on over there?
Yeah, that was in Gemini Man stage, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my
I
god!
did
And
tell
then
you
there
some- I
was
did
also
tell you
that
something
part
that I
you
think you
clipped
missed,
where
is
they're
that
trying to get that stupid random number generator RNG that was not on my side yesterday.
Cock.
Yeah, but then you didn't use
cock.
like more than half of them. So
Yeah, I don't know why you kept trying to spawn E-tanks when you refused to use them. Every time you got hit, you just reloaded.
I have bad gaming habit. Let me just be real.
You like I know you don't really play JRPGs, but like if you did, you would be that guy that would have like all the best potions in the last boss battle, and you'd be like, no, it's still not time to use this.
when they were playing Final Fantasy VII, I was trying my hardest to just make them use a Mega Elixir on like nothing fights, just because I was like, if you don't
You're
use
never
it,
going to.
you're not going to,
Yeah.
and they didn't.
I used a couple of Mega Elixirs.
Did you though?
Yes. Yes.
You might have to dig through those VODs for me, hon. I don't remember that.
No, I used them
I'm,
about once or twice, and I mostly used them when a save point was far away, and I didn't want to spend all my time, trying to get to a save point that would probably kill me.
Yeah, but you weren't using them in battle.
Yeah, so
That's what Kitty's talking about, and I believe that you never used one in battle.
no,
Because
I've
that's
never
how
used them in
that's-
battle. I
but
only
you were-
ever
you were
used them.
absolutely the guy who would be like, I might need this later, and then suddenly you're fighting the last boss and you don't need it because you're over leveled.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I used the Mega Elixirs outside of battle when I needed it, but I didn't really use.
That doesn't
Kitty's
count.
right, I didn't use them in battle.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
But
You should play Ni no Kuni. I would be really interested to see how you play it because
That would be wild to watch.
because I'm finding that items are kind of really like you have to use them and they're kind of expensive. And it's like I'm finding myself like I said today as I was streaming it, I'm having this issue where I walk into a dungeon without any coffee. Coffee replenishes your magic points in this game. So let me go back and buy some coffee. And I was only able to afford 3 cups of coffee because they're very pricey. And then it was like I used them all before I was halfway through the dungeon because you use magic constantly. And even if you don't, you have 2 other characters that will do it. And they will then you're facing something like a train that's trying to fuck you up the ass or something, and you have to throw coffee at them. And I don't know. I just like I want to see you play a really frantic action RPG like that. Where it's like, not really action RPG, but real time RPG, where it's like, oh my god, I have to use an item. Oh no, I'm dead. Okay, no, it's like really fast paced. I want to see you play that because the cursing is going to be amazing.
I do plan to play some more JRPG, but that will happen after I move because I don't want to commit. I don't want to commit myself to a really long JRPG. I mean, you saw how long it took me to get through Final Fantasy VII, so I'm not going to commit myself to that until after I move.
Let's be real. A lot of the reason that it took you a long time to get through Final Fantasy VII is instead of doing certain things off stream, you did them on stream with me and Kitty doing the fucking yuck hour with you.
Okay. I need to be real with you.
That pads it out. That was pretty great.
I'm going to be real with you. That was only about 2 to 3 weeks at the end of my stream, but at that point, I had already been upwards of something like about what was it, 30 weeks.
It was not 30 weeks, Jinx.
It was in the upper 20s at least.
I doubt it was.
Maybe it was 15. But it was not what you're saying.
I'm going to look at my channel real quick.
If you haven't updated your schedule channel.
You mean my YouTube channel?
No, your schedule. Oh, you can go by the YouTube because you're like sometimes I go to look at your schedule and there's it's like from 3 weeks ago.
Mostly because nothing changes. I only update when something changes, but if you look at my, I am actually going to be putting up a new schedule image later this week. It'll be after Sigil, because I don't know if I'm going to finish Sigil this week or not, because I had no idea what to expect.
I didn't finish Sigil, mostly because I got to a point where I literally could not proceed, and I hope that doesn't happen to you, because I got to a level where I cleared out, like, pretty much all the enemies that I can find, and then I got into a room that I literally got stuck in the room and spent about 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get out of the room. And then I used no clip because fuck that. And then I literally could not figure out what to do to progress the level. Like there were locked doors that I couldn't open, there were switches that I couldn't press, and
Weird.
there were no enemies, or like I killed everything except for like one cyber demon off on like the far corner. He wasn't bothering anybody, you know.
Okay, this. Go ahead, finish.
No, I was finished actually.
This is far from perfectly accurate, but I searched June's Twitter with the word Final Fantasy and just looked for Twitch links and found 18 links. So there were 18 streams total.
20.
So you were
The
talking
20
about
parts.
high. So you were talking about high 20s. It was 18.
It's actually 20. Because I'm
you
looking at
forgot
my
to-
actual
alright.
YouTube channel.
Okay, so that's still like a lot less than what you were.
20, so yeah,
because
20
you went
and
from
3 of them were.
you started with 35, and then you hedged it down.
It
to
felt
high
like
20s.
35 is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's a long game. But I mean, I'm just saying that like there were a lot of things that most people would do off stream. You were like, fuck it, I'm gonna be different. I'm a rebel. Fuck all y'all bitches. And I tell you, nobody wants to watch 3 hours of chocobo breeding, but do they want to hear 3 hours of me and Kitty driving you insane? Yes.
I even want to hear that, and I was there.
Yeah, I know.
That's why I
it's
had
great
you
that the
on.
YouTube
That's why,
is there.
because it was more fun that way. We could shoot the shit while I just did dumb bullshit. And because
See, now, I did that once when I was playing Dragon Quest XI, and I realized that I absolutely had to grind a little bit, and I invited a bunch of people onto the chat, you know, and that's where Moogle got on mic, and he sounded like this.
God, I remember that.
and and then I was like, could you stop screaming? I'm not screaming.
I love
You know, it-
Moogle, but no, he needs a new mic.
And then the weird thing is though, he says when he plugs his mic into his desktop, it sounds perfectly great, but when he plugs it into the laptop, it sounds like this.
The probably some settings you need to fuck with. But,
And or why not just use the desktop then?
yeah, exactly. I mean,
So
I
Moogle
had
is
an old
a
mic.
riddle-
I had
Moogle is
an
a
old
riddle
mic that was
wrapped
so
in an
terrible.
enigma, wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in a fursuit. So
Yeah, Moogle is like a character in a children's book about whatever the hell he is.
it's like the Moogle.
Yeah, but you know, no,
By the way, have you-
I had a mic back in the day. It was so terrible. It was one of those
Is
mics
this
that
the-
came with pre-box computers.
Is this the Brujeria album maker?
Yeah, you knew exactly where I was going with that.
Yes, I remember. Because everything sounded
Yeah,
like.
because it's like all I had to do. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to talk normally until it just came out like.
One of those really thin white microphones, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You basically had to. Those things were so crappy. I had one of those. You had to put it inside your mouth to be heard.
Yeah. Yeah. They were bad. And I gotta be honest with you, the headset I have is really nice. I mean, I'm always sometimes I listen to my VODs and I'm constantly impressed at how nice I sound.
I mean, you sound great. And I don't use. I have the same headset as you. I don't use the headset mic because I don't like the way it sounds. But you sound good on it. Strange how that works. Oh, speaking of which, you want to hear a funny story? Is I was, I do the reviews of like the SNES games that I play on Thursdays, and I was just finished Lennis 2 last week, so I decided to do a review of it. I write the review. I'm going to record it. I'm in Goldwave. I'm reading out the review, right? And I'm noticing I'm about 2/3 through reading it. The waveform is really tiny, and I'm like, oh crap! It's probably picking up the headset mic because Goldwave had just updated. Mm-hmm. So like I flip it down, I do the thing, flip. Right, and I talk into it more just to test it, and it's exactly the same. I start tapping it, nothing. I start tapping this mic, nothing. It was picking up the fucking webcam, which sounds like shit, by the way. Now you guys have seen my webcam. Nice picture. Sounds like shit though.
Yeah. Didn't know we didn't use the webcam. I'm not even sure my webcam even had the mic.
I didn't think mine did either, but it definitely does because Goldwave was using it. It sounded really echoey and weird.
Well, I just give my webcam the finger just in case the NSA is watching.
I don't know if you. Yeah, I'll do that too. Well, the little light's not on, so. But EB. I don't know if you guys know, but only a few weeks, and EB finally gets to have something off their chest.
Yeah, distant memories.
Eat the teats.
Yeah, I'm really happy for you, EB. I can't believe you're finally getting that. Really
So
makes
long,
me
and
happy
thanks
to
for the
hear.
memories.
Binder man does whatever a binder man can. Can he breathe? No, he can't. That's okay, cause he's flat. I like EB posted like 10 of those Spider-Man memes, and I was like, where are you getting these? These are amazing.
Oh my god. So, I think we're just about out of time here. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Time is a social construct.
well, yeah,
And
but also I need to eat.
Yeah, that's what you need to say. Is Galactus hungers? He's just saying, "Oh, we're out of time. We've only been live for 95 minutes."
Yeah,
Well, this
yeah,
show usually goes an hour, so
I thought we usually do 2 hours, don't we?
yeah. But we also kind of screwed up with the 25 minutes of just me laughing at nothing.
No, wow. That might be actually kind of amusing to listen to later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I do usually listen back to Gloomwave. And it's
And
gonna
we'll
be
have a
funny.
good show afterwards too. Like everything after that point was still really good. So
It's true,
Yeah,
right?
and I think once we got going, this has been a really good stream. But
There was a few moments near the beginning, like right when we were switching over to actually being heard. I mean, me and Katie we were just like, you were trying to move it along, and me and Katie were just like,
titties, sprinkles.
titty sprinkles.
Okay, so I am going to talk about the schedule. So let's hop over here.
Schedule.
Hop, hop, hop.
And so what's coming up is
These
first
nuts.
off, we got Sigil tomorrow. And I gotta tell you, it was a pain in the ass to make this fucking thing.
Good
Diff
luck
I
with
made.
Sigil. I really hope you have a better time with it than I did because I was enjoying it up until the point where I was like, how do I proceed?
Yes.
I felt like I was playing Hexen without a guide.
Oh, no. We're not doing that. But,
And it was just one level though. The levels before that were fine.
Yeah, what level was it?
I think it was the 5th one. I don't remember exactly.
Well, we'll find out.
There's only 9 levels and one of them's secret anyway. So
Okay, so that will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then Friday is Fun Fridays with Dr. and Kitty. And Kitty, what do you have planned for this week?
Tararara.
As long as we can get it, the whole where's the server going to be figured out, we are going to be starting Terraria.
Okay, if you can get that figured out, I will maybe poke in.
Poke.
Poke. Anyway, I am no longer doing streams on Saturdays, and I probably will not be reviving Saturday streams until after I move. So, in the meantime, you can still come back to me on Sunday for more of these two. Well, I've been looking forward to this, and I'm gonna do it tonight or not. It's gonna happen.
If tinnitus is acting up, just don't play any sound. If your tinnitus is acting up, just play Thief 2 without any sound.
The game really requires sound. I'm telling
I
you.
was gonna say.
I say that knowing that that's the case.
Yeah. I don't think that's a thing, but it would be hilarious. That's like this. That's like trying to beat Dark Souls with a bunch of bananas or something,
Okay,
Souls
so
in VR first person.
That would be cool. I would watch that.
And then come back around on Tuesday for more Mega Man, and we will be starting Mega Man 4.
The best one.
I agree. And if we have time after Mega Man 4, I will probably start with the Game Boy games. Up until Mega Man.
My condolences for the second one.
Actually, you know what? Okay, I found a ROM hack that actually fixes the sound for the second one, and it
Yeah,
sounds
but
great.
does it fix the rest of the game?
I mean, nothing, there's nothing in the second one that isn't any worse than the first one.
I don't know.
I don't think the series
You got
really
to
came
remember,
into
there's a
its own
completely
until
different,
Mega Man, until the
completely
third one.
different developer that had no idea what Mega Man was all about. They had no idea what they were doing.
Oh, I agree, but I'm saying I don't think the series really came into its own until the. Actually,
Four.
maybe the third one, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna go
Four.
with the fourth one.
Yeah, Mega Man 4 on Game Boy was really good, and then 5 was, top tier.
Yeah, Mega Man 5 is probably my favorite of the entire classic series, followed by Mega Man 4 for the Nintendo. So we will be doing that on Tuesday.
What is
And
your okay? Out of curiosity, what was your favorite of the X series?
oh gosh,
And
bearing in
why is
mind
it?
that I haven't played anything
Wh-
past,
which is your favorite, and why is it 2?
it is not 2.
Oh no,
No,
it's 1 then, right?
it's 4.
Okay, 4 is really good. Yeah,
Mine is 1, but I kind of
like 2 is my favorite.
6
Okay,
was really
Zero,
close for me. I
Zero. The
actually
first
really
Zero
liked
is
6.
amazing. That's my
6.
favorite.
See, everybody hated 6, and I was just like, this is the super hard Mega Man X that I've always wanted.
It is
That must
fucking
have been
hard.
why I liked it.
Yeah, I love, how I love hard platforming games because you're the same way.
All right, so okay. Normally, I don't usually. Up until now, I haven't really scheduled like Gloomwave like right after the most recent
Probably
one.
should. Probably should.
Well, guess what? I have. So next Gloomwave is February 24th at 6:30 p.m. That all time Eastern.
By the way, yeah, I was going to say you might want to add Eastern Standard Time to your graphic.
Yeah, yes, I probably should, but
I'm playing the scenery game.
yeah. So that's gonna be I think I think Kitty might recognize what GIF I'm using now.
Boy, both of these channels suck.
Anyway, I think that's it for now.
Here's the real discourse. Who are we rating?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being such a great audience. It's been a great show. I'm really happy. You're the best. Come back tomorrow for Door. And I do have plans, because after I finish the door, I'm going to do something called the last episode of Doom. That is going to be a fun bit of history. I'll talk more about that later. But after the last episode of Doom, I'm going to be switching over to Half-Life. So we'll be doing Half-Life after Doom. That's probably going to be not for another couple of weeks, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I'm going to hop over here for the raid. Yeah, thank you, Riddle. I appreciate that. I put a lot of work into these
They are
things,
very cool screens.
which is why I was so upset when Streamlabs was acting up and I had to contact the technical support. And so, let's see. Who do we have that we can
Yeah,
raid?
I was going to say, here's the real discourse. Who are we going to raid?
Okay, so, I mean, we got...
Options are limited today.
Warren's on.
Well, let's see. We got Punk Hero Zero who are playing Cyberpunk
No.
2077.
No, that's
No,
why.
not happy. No. I mean, they only have she only had one viewer, but
But
we
it's
also have
Cyberpunk.
Alpha Rift who is playing Okami, and Phoenix
No,
169 is playing
Warren's
Fallout
not playing
3.
Okami just yet.
Huh?
Warren seems to be browsing the internet, and I don't know what Warren's doing, but he's not playing Okami.
So, okay, I guess we're doing Phoenix 169. Let's do a raid call.
Wait, do I not follow Phoenix? Because I don't...
Let's
Maybe
see.
you will after this.
Yeah, I will, because I thought I did already.
Let me see here.
I thought Phoenix just wasn't streaming much. Yeah, that was the other thing about, like, Warren is a great dude, but, like, that bot takes all the fun out of raids.
Yeah. I don't like it much myself. So we need a raid call. What's a good raid call we can use?
I've just started making all my raid calls not all caps because I've had other people not with bots, but I've had a few people say like, "Oh, like we don't want you to do them in all caps. They bother some people."
Oh, it lasts like a minute. It's like, geez, get over yourself, you know?
Oh yeah, but if people are spamming the same thing, if it's not all, even if it's not all capitalized,
Yeah.
everyone's still gonna see it.
Yeah.
So it's not that much skin off my back to just not do all caps raid calls.
I think it's more fun because it's like it's a raid. You're raiding the person. You should be screaming. It should be hype as fuck, you know? You know what? I should add exclamation points when I do them now.
Okay, this is a really
Yeah. Do you have something dumb for us?
it's gonna be fucking stupid.
You're laughing, so it must be extremely dumb.
I have to make sure I get this reference right though.
Oh, you are making it where it's not going to live up to the hype now. I'm going to look at it and be like, yeah, it's kind of funny. That typing, though.
Okay, this is our way call.
Fallout, what about Jesus' son? This meme paid for by the West Dubuque Seventh Church of Christ. Okay, I don't really get the reference, but okay.
Okay, that is okay. You remember the Rapping for Jesus video?
Is that the one with the N-word repeated ad nauseum?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do remember. I was the one that showed you that.
Yeah. Okay. The website that
Kitty's
the video
sitting there
linked
like,
to went to
No,
a fake
I think
church
they've shown it to me.
by that
Oh,
name.
okay. That's. I was just wondering if Kitty's ever seen that. I was like, I wonder if Kitty's sitting there like,
Oh
what?
no. Yeah,
A
we're
rapping
gonna
for
have to do
Jesus
that up to
N-word?
Kitty.
It's these two old whites rapping for Jesus, and they just repeat the N-word over and over and over again, and they clearly think it's so clever and funny.
Yeah. So okay. Let's do that raid. We've got we're gonna raid
What did you say that Phoenix was playing?
Fallout 3.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Okay. Alright. Raid is ready to go. Thank you all for coming. We are going to be doing more Doom tomorrow, so come back for that, and I will see you all on the flip. I love you all. You're the best. I'm going to hit that raid button in 10, 9, 8,
63.
7, 6, 5,
128.
shut up,
4
3,
billion.
2, 1,
Seven.
blammo.
I love you put shut up in there.